As part of this topic, let us check about states of a EC2 instance. To get all the available states, you can click on the actions menu here and then go to instance state, and you can see different states. So an EC2 can be in the running state if everything is working properly and started without any issues. And then an instance could be in stop state. When it is in stop state, you will not be charged for the EC2. Only for the time it is up and running, you will be charged. And then reboot is just to perform reboot after installing certain softwares it is required. And also when you use the instances for very long time, it is suggested to recycle the instances at regular intervals. So reboot will be typically used in those scenarios, and you will be continuously charged on reboot. There won't be any time where you will not be charged if you do reboot, and reboot will happen within a minute or so. And then terminate, which will remove all the resources with respect to EC2 and clean up everything. If you want to again come back to the original or desired state, you have to rebuild everything. You have to provision EC2 instance by going to launch instance and then set up all the softwares, configure them, and then you will be back to desired state. So when you terminate, you will lose everything that is there as part of that EC2 instance. Typically when we terminate, it is recommended to take a backup and then terminate in case if you want to come back to a desired state for a given application. That being said, you need to understand few things when it comes to stopping, because stopping is very tempting because there is no charge associated with it, and timely stopping is very, very important for efficient usage of any cloud environment, not just AWS. So when you use stop and again start, what will happen is the public DNS will be deallocated when it goes to the stop state. So when we start again, it will assign a new public DNS. There is a way to avoid this, and that will be covered as part of Elastic IPs topic. For now, just understand that if you don't use Elastic IPs, whenever you stop an instance and whenever you start the instance, the public DNS will be deallocated and a new public DNS will be allocated and assigned, using which you can connect to the instance. Okay, that is one side effect, and Elastic IPs is the solution to work around that issue. Now, when it comes to storage, there are multiple types of storages in AWS. One is EBS, which we have used. We use 16 GB of EBS storage for our EC2 instance. On top of this, there is also a concept of instance store, which is absolutely free. EBS comes at a cost. After free tier, you will be charged per month, and it's a fixed cost. Okay. In case if your applications are stateless, and you can stop and start the instances without dependency on any storage, but for time being, sometimes if you want to have a scratchpad storage, you can use the instance store, which will be given automatically whenever you provision an instance. But you need to remember that if you stop it and start it, whatever is there in the instance store will be gone. That's why the root file system has to be EBS, and we actually allocated 16 GB or 30 GB of EBS storage for root file system, because in root file system you need to have operating system and other softwares, hence you need to plan for root file system more accurately and appropriately. On top of this, if you want additional storage, if it is just a scratchpad, you will get free storage, very huge amount of free storage for each and every instance type. And then beyond that, you can also have EBS. If you want to maintain state, you can allocate more EBS volumes and assign it to the instance, and then you can use as part of your application. So bottom line is, when you stop and start, there will be impact on storage and there will be impact on DNS to connect to. The workaround for DNS issue is using a concept called Elastic IP, which we'll be seeing soon. And the second part of uh, losing the instance store, it all depends upon your requirement and your planning to provision right amount of storage in right manner, and then we'll take it from there. So we'll come back to the instance store, EBS, and all those things when we get into the main topics of provisioning multiple instances for a particular purpose. But very soon we'll be looking at Elastic IP, especially to deal with this changing IP address whenever we stop and start. And it is very important to understand this side effect because we'll be automating quite a lot for a period of time. And if IP address or public DNS change very frequently, then managing it as part of your automation will be a challenge. Hence, understanding Elastic IP concept is very, very important, and we will be seeing it very soon.